The Monetary Policy Committee took some important decisions in its latest meeting. Now, these decisions change everything from loan interest rates to inflation and economic growth. Hello and welcome to Drishti IS. My name is Saloni Nankyoliar, and in today's video, we'll analyze how these decisions will change India's economic growth. So in the latest meeting, RBI took some decisions like it reduced the repo rate by 50 basis points, and now the new one has moved to 5.25%. Other than repo rate, our cash reserve ratio or CRR also saw a decrease of 100 basis points, and the new one has now become 3%. But please note that this reduction is not going to happen in a single phase. This will take place in 4 tranches, where in every stage we are going to have a 25 basis point reduction starting September. And this is being done to give banks also some time to adjust to this new policy cut. Then, monetary policy stance has changed from accommodative to neutral. The inflation is projected at 3.7% and GDP growth is projected at 6.5%. So these were some important decisions that RBI took, but what are the implications of this decision on banks and on households? So for that, let us understand some important terms. Number 1 is the repo rate. So repo rate or repurchase rate is the rate at which the banks can borrow money from RBI against government securities for short term. And the second is CRR or cash reserve ratio. CRR is the amount of money that the banks will have to keep with the RBI in the form of cash. So when repo rate and CRR are increased, what do you think is going to happen? Which means that the banks will be able to loan lesser amount of money from the RBI because the loan rates have gone up, the interest rates have increased, and then the banks will also feel discouraged to get more money from RBI, which in turn will discourage them to loan more money to the people because they're not going to have a lot of money with themselves. So this type of policy is going to ensure a lower money supply in the economy versus when these interest rates are reduced, like what has happened right now. What is going to happen? The banks will be able to borrow more money from RBI because the loans are now cheaper. In turn, they'll have more money and they'll be able to loan more money to people, and we will stimulate economic growth, which means we'll increase the money supply in the economy and in turn increase consumption. So our lending rates are going to drop, which means the credit will be easier, and direct implication on the households will be that our loan rates are going to decrease, EMIs are going to decrease, and all this will be done to encourage consumption. But why does the RBI do all these things? RBI does all these things because it is mandated with maintaining the money supply in the economy for stability and growth of the economy. So it does that through monetary policy, which is a process by which RBI controls money supply and interest rate in the economy. And why is this being done? To stabilize growth and stability. So there are 3 types that RBI follows, 3 types of monetary policies that RBI follows in different situations. First is the expansionary or accommodative monetary policy. Second is contractionary or tightening monetary policy. And third is neutral, which is a data-based monetary policy. Let's understand all 3 of them. So in expansionary monetary policy, our rates of interest are lower down. We do this to stimulate growth in the economy, to increase consumption in the economy. And when do you think this will be done? This is done during the times of recession or slow economic growth. When people are not spending as much, they're not consuming as much, they're keeping their money with themselves. So at that time, which means that they do not have a lot of money in the economic supply, at that time the monetary policy is expansionary or accommodative, where the interest rates are reduced. Then we have contractionary, which is the exact opposite of expansionary. This happens when there is inflation, meaning there is a very high price rise, people are spending a lot of money, there is overconsumption, there is an excess of money supply in the economy, and that is also not a good thing. And in that case, the RBI needs to take that excess money supply from the economy, and it does that by increasing these reserve ratios, these loan rates, so that the banks are discouraged to lend more money, so that the people are discouraged to borrow more money from the banks, and in turn they will not consume as much. And then comes neutral, which is a balanced stance in between those, which follows a very data-driven approach, a very empirical approach, where RBI decides whether or not to reduce or increase the policy cuts based on pure data. This is what is the stance that RBI is following right now, that it's a data-driven empirical approach. So why did MPC change its stance to neutral? So it did that because after aggressive policy cuts. Now, if you recall, in February 2025 also there was a 25% or 25 basis point reduction in our repo rate. In April, again, there was a 25 basis point reduction, and now in June, there is a 50 basis point reduction. So net, there have been three consecutive times that we have reduced our policy rates. So when all these things have happened, there is no further room for more cuts. Why? Because repo rates are decreased. Repo is short term versus bank rate remains the same. So bank rate is the rate at which banks can borrow money from the RBI without any collateral but for longer durations. So the bank rate has remained the same, but the repo rate has been decreased 3 consecutive times. So there is already a gap between the bank rate and the repo rate, and there is not a lot of room for any further cut. So the RBI is not going to do that until and unless it is absolutely mandatory. And how is it going to decide it? That will be decided based on pure data. That is the approach that RBI is following. It wants to strike a balance between growth, preventing further inflation, and managing global uncertainties. Now, why the rates have been cut? You might recall that India is the fourth largest global economy, which means that we are already doing very well in our economy. So what was the need to have these aggressive policy cuts time and again? So this has happened because even though our FDIs are increasing, our forex reserves are high, even though our domestic consumption is sluggish, which means that the people within the country are not spending as much, they are not consuming as much. And this has especially happened post-COVID, where people are focusing on precautionary savings. The households are preferring savings over overspending. There are high borrowing costs for businesses and for industries, and net there has been a global slowdown. There are global uncertainties. There is this tariff war that is ongoing. So there is a global uncertainty most of the times, and that is the reason that people within India are not really consuming as much or investing as much in the country. So the domestic consumption is very sluggish, and this is the reason that the RBI wanted to encourage consumption domestically, and that is the reason that the RBI reduced these repo rates. Now, the next question that should come to your mind is that if the RBI keeps on reducing repo rates like this, there will be more money supply in the economy, and this in turn can cause inflation. So how did RBI get that confidence that even after these aggressive cuts, inflation is not going to increase? So our inflation has been moderated to 3.2% in April 2025, which was a 6-year low. So we have been seeing a decrease in inflation, and since 2019, this was the lowest that we achieved in April, 3.2. This gave RBI the confidence that the inflation is already moderated, it is within limits, and we can afford to have policy cuts. Other than inflation, especially our food inflation is in control. So what do you mean by that? Our Rabi crops, the wheat crops, they showed a great record production. So there is no food shortage. And right now also with the early onset of monsoon, we are going to have prolonged durations for rainfall. And we're expecting our Kharif crops also to do well. So we are not anticipating any food shortage until and unless there is an unexpected weather condition that arises. So this has given RBI the confidence to take care of the policy cuts. And other than inflation, the next one has been our external sector's resilience. So as I already mentioned that India became the fourth largest global economy. So what does this mean? This means that the FDI inflows in India have increased. People outside are now placing their confidence in the Indian markets. India has become an attractive destination. Our forex reserves are also high, and we can cover 11 months of imports. And our external commercial borrowings and non-resident deposits are also increased. So external commercial borrowings are the borrowings that the businesses and public sector enterprises, they make from foreign individuals. So what does this bring? This brings in foreign capital. This brings in foreign capital within the economy, which means further increased foreign exchange reserves, and non-resident deposits, which means the NRI deposits, they are also increasing in the country. So we were strong at the external sector. We also had reduced inflation, and this is what gave RBI the confidence to keep following these policy cuts. So that was all for today's video. We quickly saw what RBI's monetary policy currently looks like and why these policy cuts have been made. These policy cuts have been made to stimulate stimulate economic growth in country, to stimulate the domestic consumption within country, and to allow more people, encourage more people to invest more within the economy. Domestic consumption challenges are to be taken care of, and the current repo rates are a balancing act because we are following what? We are following a neutral data-driven approach. They are a balancing act of growth, inflation, and financial stability. So that was all for today's video. I hope you were able to understand how these things are going to shape Indian economy and the banks and the households. So now that you know all these things, let us see if you are able to answer this question. Which of the following statements best captures the RBI's rationale for shifting from an accommodative to neutral monetary policy stance? To signal that inflation concerns outweigh growth concerns, to reflect that policy flexibility is now dependent on evolving economic data, to restrict all forms of borrowing in the economy to curb inflation, or to indicate that monetary policy will no longer support government's fiscal deficit. So try answering this question in the comment section. Also, practice one question for mains because this is an important topic for GS paper 3, Indian economy. And time and again, UPSC has been asking questions from monetary policy, RBI's role, everything, fiscal policy in prelims and in mains. So try answering this question. Despite robust FDI inflows and a strong external sector, the Indian economy still faces challenges in stimulating domestic consumption and investment. Critically analyze the factors that contribute to this paradox and suggest policy measures to address it. Answer this in 250 words for your own practice. That was all for today's video. Until we meet the next time, please keep studying and keep revising.